Hi you guys, so welcome to another reading vlog. For this video I wanted to show you guys what I read in a week and how much I read in a week. I mostly see this type of video like on Instagram Reels where like people show how many pages they read per day and they show like what book they read. But I feel chatty and I really do want to talk about the books that I'm reading. I think this video is gonna be very like casual and maybe a little chatty. Apologies in advance. This video idea also came at a great time because just this morning replied to a DM someone sent me that asked me like, hey, do you work or do you study? Like, how do you read so much? And to answer those questions, I don't study. I am a recent grad. I graduated last May and I currently work part-time as a waitress. I only work Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, and then I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays off. It's just a schedule that works for me, and every week looks different, every day looks different, but usually on my work days I get quite a bit of reading done, but it's not as much as when I'm free and I have those days off. Another thing that also really helps is that I have made it a habit to read every single morning for at least 40 minutes as soon as I wake up. Some days, I'm not gonna lie, it's harder than others because I wake up and immediately think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, or maybe I wake up a little bit late than I wanted to and I don't have those full 40 minutes to read. I dedicate those 40 minutes to just read. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I put a timer on, put some jazz music on, I'll have my coffee and I'll dedicate those 40 minutes to just reading. I probably read 40 to 50 pages in those 40 minutes, so I read literally about a page a minute. I'm not a fast reader by any means, but you know, those 40 minutes each and every day really do accumulate, and when you come to the end of the week you finish the book. Today is Monday and I have been really busy today. I've only been able to read those 40 minutes in the morning that I showed you guys. After that I went grocery shopping, I went to the gym. This morning I was reading The Summer That Melted Everything by Tiffany McDaniel. This is one that I picked up at my library when I went there on my last vlog. I was really surprised to see that book in my library. I was not expecting that. And I've read Tiffany McDaniel's On the Savage Side before, and I have Betty on my TBR. I'm scared to read Betty. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared because On the Savage Side, that was a lot. That was a lot. And I've heard similar things for Betty. I haven't heard anything too traumatic about her debut novel. If I get trauma bonded to this book like I did with On the Savage Side, I'll let you guys know. This book is set in the 1980s in a small town in Ohio. Our protagonist is this boy named Fielding Bliss. He is telling us this story as him being older in the present time and him back as a boy in the 80s. And when he was a boy, Fielding came across this little boy who claimed to be the devil. And the synopsis says that a bunch of strange things start happening ever since the boy who claims to be the devil shows up. And basically, eventually things get messy. I think something happens to Fielding's family because in present times he's quite alone. I don't think he has any of his family near him. I'm really intrigued by this synopsis, and I do like Tiffany McDaniel's writing. It's also quite funny because this is a library book and it seems it was like donated to the library because it has annotations from the last person who read this book. And this person keeps writing like, I love the writing. I'm like, yeah girl, same. Really enjoying this one so far, and I really do want to keep going with this one. After I read those 40 minutes in the morning, I got ready with my day. I made breakfast, I did a grocery list, went grocery shopping, I went to the gym afterwards, and in the gym I was actually reading. I go to the gym 4 times a week. I get quite a bit of reading done in the gym as well because I bring my Kindle to the gym, and while I was on a treadmill, I was reading Bellies by Nicola Dinan. This is a library hold that I've been waiting for months, and it finally came in, and I don't think I'm gonna continue with it. I don't know what it is. I'm just not in the mood for this right now. I understand that Bellies is about this boy meets boy type of love story. Tom, who meets this other boy named Ming. They fall in love, start a relationship together. Everything's great and dandy, and I think once they're nearly graduating or they're graduated already, Ming comes out and tells Tom that she wants to transition, and how Tom and Ming traverse that new territory together. I don't know, I'm not too very far in, so I'm really just guessing right now. I don't know what happens, but that's what kind of synopsis says on Goodreads. I'm just not sure I'll be reading Bellies for the rest of this vlog, so I'm sorry. I think I'll just like return it, put a hold on it again, and hopefully when it comes back I'll want to read that then. I should pick up one of these. I did a February TBR, and this is the last 2 books on that TBR that I haven't picked up yet, but I don't know. I'll see if either of my libraries have one of these and I can read on my Kindle. I'm really excited for this video, and it's actually so funny because this is the second time I've tried to film this video, but the last one I didn't really like it and I kept forgetting to count the pages, so this time I'm gonna be on top of it. I hope this brings some insight on how I read and how much I read. Welcome to the vlog, everyone. Hi you guys, good morning. I apologize in advance for any sounds you might hear. There's usually construction going on literally just right outside this window in the mornings, and it's as quiet as it can be right now, so hopefully this is fine and it's not too much noise. So it's Tuesday morning, and yesterday, Monday night, work was really busy and I didn't get to read at all. I also went ahead and I officially put aside Bellies. I just not in the mood for it. I read a very similar type of story the week before. I read The Adult by Brown Fisher, a queer coming of age love story, and it felt kind of similar to it. Like I said, Monday night work was actually really busy and I didn't even have time to read anything. I only get some reading done at work when it's like super slow, or if I have roll-ups as a side job, then I can do roll-ups while I'm reading. I feel weird because I always read 2 things at once, and I'm not doing that right now, but we'll figure out my Kindle read later on as my updates. My coffee here, my book, so let's read. So I am off from work and I finally have the next 3 days off. It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I'm anticipating a lot of reading being done in those 3 days because I'm reading 2 very good books. You guys know that I was on the hunt for my next read on my Kindle since I put aside Bellies by Nicola Dunn, I think it is, and I had read a couple pages of Open Throat that also came in as a library hold, and I don't know, I was not in the mood for either of those. But today at the gym I started Case Study by I don't know how to say this person's name, I'm so sorry, but I started this book on my Kindle, and I really like doing this where I start a book on my Kindle that I also have on my physical TBR, because I love reading on my Kindle, but sometimes I get a little bit too carried away with library holds. So when I find a book on my physical TBR that my library has, feels like a good day. Read a bunch of it on the gym, and I read also at work because it was actually a really slow night and I had a lot of time to read. And I am 16% of the way through on Case Study, and I'm liking it a lot. Really liking it. Really different than the things I've been reading lately. So this one is about this woman who begins attending therapy from this particular psychiatrist because she suspects him to have a hand in her sister's suicide. It's also interesting because the psychiatrist in particular is also infamously known for being like an anti-therapist. He spends a lot of time with his patients kind of convincing them why they don't need therapy, something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm reading and I'm really liking it. I think I am going to continue reading for a little bit longer, try to hit 20% of the way through before I call it good night. So tomorrow, since I have it off, we might go to a cafe that I went to on last Sunday. I never vlogged anything of it. I just went completely camera free, but it was actually a really nice cafe, one that I haven't shown on camera. Basically recreate what I did on Sunday so I can show you guys, because it's actually a really cute cafe. And yeah, we'll go there, read some more. The only thing about reading like multiple books at once is that you can't decide which ones to read. I usually read a physical book in the AM and then I'll pick up my Kindle read in the PM, especially because I have work. Like, the reason why I have a physical book and a Kindle book on the go is because when I go to work, I don't want to bring in a physical book with me because it's just harder to read a physical book at work. With this Kindle, I can prop it up anywhere and I can read hands-free. So that's why I always have 2 books going at once. And it's also why I finish books quicker. Since I'm reading 2 books at once at the same time, I almost always finish 2 books per week. But I take a little bit longer to get through those books because I'm reading at the same time. Without further ado, let's read a little bit more.
Come bearing up before us, we hang on the hem of your gown. Blue sky, come, promise not to leave us, tarry not to our town. There's a darkness in the valley, heavy branches crack and spit. If we holler, will you hurry? Can you hear us through the wind? Blue sky, come, dancing in between us. Take us up, lay us down. Blue sky, come, promise not to leave us, tarry not to our town. There's a violence under our feet, running stitches through our homes. Bring a lantern.
Hi friends, so I hope this lighting gives off cute and aesthetic and not like red light district. We are back from our coffee shop date, and it's honestly one of my favorite things to do when I have the day off. It's just to go to a little coffee shop and read and intentionally carve out that time and like treat it as a little date, like a weekly date with myself. I love spending time in coffee shops. It's my favorite thing. You know, when a coffee shop gives you your coffee and it is so light and you know they put like 90% milk in that, that was not this coffee shop. It was really good coffee. Highly recommend if you guys are in the area. This has me hooked, you guys. Like, it's really, really good. Really enjoying this one. It's as much about the two characters, like our main character Fielding and Saul, which is the 13-year-old self-proclaimed devil, but I will also classify the town and all the people who live in that town as like another character. It's just really interesting since it's a town in Ohio in the 80s. It's a very small-minded town. They don't have a lot of tolerance for people who are different than them. Saul is a 13-year-old boy who claims to be the devil, and that obviously rubs people off the wrong way because the majority of this town is white. And yeah, a lot to say about racism in this book that I'm really enjoying. That's my reading for today. So a lot of reading done. Really happy about that. It's around 7-ish almost, and we're going to a cafe. I've been editing and I've been going to the gym, and I'm taking a little break from all that, and we are going to a cafe. And I'm nearly done with the summer that melted everything, so I'm hoping to finish this today. I'm not gonna give you guys any spoilers, but this is really good. This is really good. Has me hooked, and this is amping me up to read Betty by her, which has been on my TBR for the longest time. We're gonna get some coffee and we're gonna finish this. We'll see, because there's well over 50 pages in this, and I am a slow reader and I do have to keep editing my video, but we can do it. For a chat and an update because I have finished. Oh my god, this broke me, not going to lie. Tiffany McDaniels has talent to just wringing your heart out and stomping on it and then spitting on it for good measure. I already shared that this book follows Fielding, our main character, lives in this tiny town in Ohio. It's set in the 80s, and the beginning of the summer he comes across this little boy, claims to be the devil. Now, Fielding believes this boy because just a few days prior, his dad actually put out an advertisement inviting the devil to come to the town because the dad personally wanted to meet the devil. Because of that synopsis, I thought this will have magical realism elements and that somehow this little 13-year-old boy was really gonna be the devil. It's not magical realism. It's not even tagged magical realism on Goodreads. It's fine. Just a misunderstanding on my part. This book is actually just a beautiful story about a family, because we closely follow Fielding and his family here, which consists of his dad, his mom, and his big brother. When Saul is introduced, he is quickly brought into the family and treated as one of their own. Saul and Fielding also create a really close bond, and they become sort of brothers. Fielding is the narrator, and we go back and forth between the past and the present. In present times, Fielding is much older. We understand that he has lived a very solitary life ever since the events that happened in that particular summer in the 80s. He's been unable to cultivate deeper relationships with just about anybody, really. And so he's bitter, and he's old, and he's lonely. And so we sort of go back and forth between that present and the past allows us to understand why Fielding became the way he is. So the way this book broke my heart. Tiffany McDaniel has such a talent with characters. McDaniel's talent also lies in her writing. The way the story is set up is that I truly felt like I was part of the family. You get to understand his characters in such a deep level, like you know their faults, their charisma, their hearts, their kindness, but also their secrets, and it's ultimately the secrets that the family holds that unravels them. The ending is kind of rough. Trigger warnings for suicide, homophobia. I think I said this before, but another character of this story is the town. It's a small town in Ohio in the 80s. And something that we discover is that Saul, the self-proclaimed devil, is actually a black boy. My heart broke for Saul so many times. Honestly, I'm terrified of reading Betty. I have her right here. I just have not read her, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm planning a little video for next week, and I'm probably gonna read this one for that one. So it closely mirrors Tiffany McDaniel's actual family. So yeah, I'm gonna cry. And then on Friday, I was reading Case Study. I actually did not read too much yesterday on Friday, so there's not a whole lot of footage of Friday. I'm on 41% of Case Study. Right now, a lot of the 10% that I read yesterday was our main character that I forgot the name of already. She meets this guy on the way to the therapy sessions, and the guy actually asks her out on a date. And so a lot of the 10% that I read yesterday was them on a date and them on a pub. So not a whole lot of story progression with that one. And then, because I am a mood reader, I did something. I picked up Boy Parts by Eliza Clark just this morning. So it's Saturday morning right now. I'm only 38 pages in. I don't know what to expect. This book is just notorious on Bookstagram. I've been seeing it since day one that I joined, about 2 years ago now. The only thing I know about this one is that this woman takes erotic pictures of boys, and I don't know if she kills them afterwards, or she goes on a killing rampage. I don't know, but that's the vibe I'm getting from this book. Today's Saturday, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how much reading I will get done because I actually have to put up a video today. I have to do the thumbnail. Since it is Saturday, I'm still in the middle of 2 books right now. I don't think I'll be finishing off any more books. For this video, it's just impossible for me to. That is what I'm reading. We'll see how much more I get into over these. I'll see you guys whenever. Bye. To the end of the week, and welcome to the end of this video. The reason that I didn't film in the weekend is because I actually did not read. I don't have much updates on any of the reads, but I will say that I read a couple pages of Boy Parts this morning, and so far I'm intrigued. Case Study, I'm right underneath the 50% mark of Case Study, so I don't have any updates about that. It's kind of a bore right now. To recap, the way that I read so much is because I'm always bringing my Kindle with me everywhere. I'm always reading at least 2 books at once, and I dedicate 40 minutes to read every morning. Some days are better than others, but most of the time I try to get those 40 minutes done. I also do have a lot more time to read. I'm only 23. I'm a recent grad. I work part-time. Overall, I will put somewhere on the screen the total pages that I read this week. So yeah, that's the end of this video, and that's the end of the week. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me this week and just watching me read. I hope you guys like this video. I never say this, but if you do like my content, remember to subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.